not a drill. $50 million deals. Yeah, we get the cap for real. I make it throw the smoke for real. Real baller, first string. Gotta do it for the team. Ball so hard, I call fatigue. Running yards is out the league. Oh no, oh man, I just made a mess. When I run it, ain't no stopping on never rest. Down said hut, kick a punt, then I make them catch 5,000 ones in an hour. I'ma make it stretch. I just made a mess. I just made a mess. I got cash by the bundle, so I'll never press.
Today, from Lumen Field in Seattle, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto District of Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready to do battle with the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England.
Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who played for the Nevada Wolfpack in college. It's Colin Kaepernick.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Room here to run. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Seattle's first go on offense forthcoming, and under center, of course, Russell Wilson.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Dwayne Eskridge, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
So they elect to pass there on the two-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Pettis now on the return. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Kaepernick wants to throw on 3rd and 1. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. Al Woods, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step back.
Open, complete, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. And they're going to get it. That one's caught. And now the lead moves to 16-0. I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Pettis now on the return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a third down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Here's Jack Fox. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. You got to feel it, baby. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over it.
Wilson going to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. Thorough domination right now. The game plan is simple, obviously, Charles. They're going for 2 after every touchdown, and it's 24-0.
Don't you just get the sense right now that they're just flexing? I mean, to be able to do whatever they want, how they want, 3 two-point conversions, and now they're up 24-0. So essentially they gained a field goal out of it without even trotting the kicker out there.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Pettis now on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And Detroit back in possession of the football. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury and having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Kaepernick hit. Fumble. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Yeah, we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, a 23-yard run. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pettis now on the return. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run the draw here with Swift. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Throwing his Kaepernick on 3rd down. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time. They've got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Open man is Quintez Cephas. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams playing their 16th game of the regular season. And obviously for decades, that was the full season. But as we all know, a little strange, still one more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see how things play out next week because we know their division titles and wild card spots up for grabs. So those teams, no doubt they'll be all in. But how would you like to go in front of a team that's 3-13 and say, okay, guys, one more time, let's go get them. If we win, it benefits someone else.
From the gun on third down, Kaepernick. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football. And this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So winds up a very smart decision to throw the flag. They reset the spot, and now that's a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now Kaepernick. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Darrell Taylor has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. He gives it off to Carson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he's got this down to the 35. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st down. Carson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And able to break one. Quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. on second down. It's Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. And sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now Colin Kaepernick and the offense heading back out onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Kaepernick. Steps away to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This one taken in by Cephas. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Kaepernick now on 1st down. He'll get this off to Swift. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out west at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. And it's the Niners who have the lead in that one. The Niners locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, let's head cross-country to D.C. to check out the football team at home at FedEx Field. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Terry McLaurin, a touchdown catch in the victory. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. J.K. Dobbins with a touchdown run. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for nearly 300 yards already as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And we have seen him to this point with 4 touchdowns. We get a glance at his work. It's been good work.
Oh, it's been excellent work, and it's made so much better by our guys. Look at that montage of great plays that they put together. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, you speak it pretty well. But these guys, the pictures they put up, oh.
Very good, and he's got his team in the lead right now. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Play action. It's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 78 yards. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
Well, this is something that Pete Carroll should be pretty well familiar with. Remember when he told Jim Harbaugh after losing a ball game and Harbaugh went for 2 late against him, hey, what's your deal? It's the same situation here. Now, I'd kick the extra point, but I am reminded that plenty of coaches feel like it's not their job to worry about the other team. It's their job to worry about their own team. You have to stop us.
Pettis now on the return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Right back to Swift again on second down. A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Throwing now is Kaepernick. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Swift. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On play action, it's Kaepernick. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively.
They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
Now it's Carson. He finds some open field here. The 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 67 yards. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
It'll be Carson. They run for it. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Pettis now on the return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down, Swift. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, and he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
When you start at your own 20, oftentimes defenses play you for the run. They stack the line of scrimmage. They decided, let's not run into that mess. Let's get outside, get to the perimeter, go high, wide, and handsome, and throw that bad boy downfield.
Beautiful ball, good catch, and then it was off to the races, one play and in the end zone. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Pettis now on the return. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
On first down, Kaepernick. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be a second down. On the handoff, this is Swift, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run on first down. Carson. Oh, look at that. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Man, 188 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. A beautiful spin and room to run. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And Detroit back in possession of the football. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Throwing on 1st down is Kaepernick. Oh, he's hitting, lost the football, put it on the carpet, and the Seahawks have picked it up.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And out now come the Seahawks. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Following the fumble recovery. Wilson. It's caught at the 1. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Pettis now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Seattle defense getting set to go. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers, the offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. He'll drop this one off to Swift. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, Kaepernick. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he'll be out right at the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane. And
I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. And he's got this down to the 35. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they get the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on. That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end. And he takes it down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They run it with Carson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. They'll look to throw, and this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Kaepernick now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Kaepernick again here on 2nd and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. Swift. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Returnable for Lockett. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Seahawks, they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.